we're now recording because I talked all of that and didn't record. Anyways, to find your 1099, it is going to be on your workstation account tab. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's going to be some links that'll say like 1099 MISC, which is miscellaneous, 2020. And if you made over $600 in 2020 in commissions, it'll be, there's a gnat. Ew. Mr. Miyagi, that thing. If you made over $600 in commissions, it'll be clickable, printable, print it out for your records, because if you do seek a tax professional, like you go to H&R Block, so on and so forth, don't do your stuff with TurboTax. If you decide not to do your stuff with TurboTax, then you're going to want to have that printed. I always keep my tax stuff for records anyways. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. So Chloe brings up a good question. Can I write off cent of the month kits as a business expense? Let me tell you guys the easiest way to think about expenses. If you can use it for your business, yes, it is a tax write-off, okay? So if you buy cent of the month kit, that's a business expense. Sure, are you probably selling those products back for full price? Yep, but did you pay for it outright as a business expense? Yes, okay? So business cards, anytime you buy business cards, your website on a monthly basis is a business expense that you can write off on your taxes. Your catalogs, your testers, literally anything that you buy solely for your business, y'all, is a tax write-off. Okay, so anything that you invest in your business is a tax write-off because you're an independent consultant. Okay, it's a way to offset what you're going to have to pay in taxes with expenses. Okay. Excuse me. Here are some other little tidbits that you're going to want to remember. Mileage is also a tax write-off. So anytime you're out doing Cincy deliveries, okay, not going to McDonald's, not going to visit your friends, anytime you are solely out doing Cincy deliveries, going to parties, going to events, going here, there, and everywhere for Cincy specifically, your mileage is a tax write-off, okay? There are very handy apps that you can turn on. I don't know one. If you have a vinyl on your car, can you track all your mileage? Yes. The only issue with vinyls on your cars is car insurance. Your car insurance may give you grief about it because mine doesn't. Mine doesn't care. So any mileage, anywhere you go. So like to give you guys an idea, when I lived in New York, I traveled down to Fredericksburg to host an open house party. Okay. That 500 miles that I had to drive to get from New York to Virginia, tax write-off, because it was a business trip. I went home solely for a open house, okay? I went home solely to do an open house. Pretty much if you can ask the question, can I write this off on my business? The answer is going to be yes. The only things that are gray area are like, let's say if you wanted to go out and buy a purple outfit for Cincy colors. Like, let's say if you wanted to just go buy a purple outfit, didn't have Cincy branded on it, nothing, and you wanted to wear that to your event, and it was just regular purple outfit, can't be a tax write-off because you can wear it other places, and it's not branded with your company, okay? Think of it as like purchasing uniforms. Your branded stuff is your uniform. Does anybody have any specific questions as far as like things you can write off? Nancy, you can write off a portion of your phone bill. That is something that a tax professional would have to go over with you about like percentages and things like that. There's also the option of writing off a portion of your office space, but it has to be designated office space. Honestly, from my experience, it's not worth the hassle of trying to put that stuff in. What about orders under your name for samples, Happy Mail? Anytime that you buy product to use specifically for your business, like marketing your business, it is a tax write-off. So like if you bought the kits or even just the new bars kit, that's a tax write-off. That whatever $60, I think it was, for that is a tax write-off. So like I said earlier, scent and warmer of the month, tax write-off. Your website, tax write-off. If you pay into Amy, Canva, MailChimp, Jotform, any of those things, tax write-offs. So now let's talk real quickly about how to track all of this, okay? Yeah, and Holly Fearby brings up a good point with tracking all of this. So if you're buying business supplies, easiest thing to do is make a customer named business supplies for when you add it to your orders, so that you can easily just pull up that customer name business supplies and print all the receipts for the year. Okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Donetta, did you donate the basket to the event? So tracking this is gonna need to start being second nature. Okay, that is something that I will wholeheartedly be very open with. Is I am really bad about tracking this stuff, and then I get to the end of the year and I'm like scrambling to figure out where all my receipts are. And I'm gonna tell you guys now, it's something that you want to start now versus when you get to like director, star director. Because if you get in that mindset of, hey, I need to keep this receipt, or hey, I need to be tracking this mileage, or hey, I need to be keeping track of it, so on and so forth, then you'll have a better grip on things when you go to file your taxes at the end of the year, and you'll be more organized. If you are not type A, like I am, and not very organized, my suggestion is to look into having an accountant. If you genuinely want to work this business like a business, there are just some things that we got to get around, and that's having an accountant. So if anybody in the Fredericksburg area has any suggestions for certified personal accountants, your girl needs one. But my suggestion would be to set up a box somewhere that you can just throw receipts in. So like if you go to Hobby Lobby and buy felt to make samples, or if you go to Walmart and buy little baggies or whatever, just toss the receipt in a box. And then at the end of the month, stuff those receipts in an envelope and write on the front of the envelope, January receipts. Okay. Start it now so that at the end of the year, you're not scrambling. My plan is I have these handy dandy little folder things I got from Staples for like 10 cents, I think, at some point. Anyways, these are gonna be my receipt folders. So that literally I can hand this to my CPA and be like, here's January's, here's February's, here's March, done and done. Okay. Holly, if you are using it for anything other than Scentsy, technically no. But I'm not a tax professional. Would I write it off? Yes. just saying. But I only use mine for business stuff, though. Is the IRS going to come knocking at your door and saying, excuse me, did you make one project that was not business related? They're not. That's on you and your conscience on what you do. Technically, according to the IRS, it has to be used only for business purposes. So like my computer, I pretty much only use for business stuff. Haven't used it for anything for, you're good. Write that sucker off, girlfriend. Write it off. There's $200 in write-offs right there. But I will be very open and honest with y'all. If y'all look at, like, when you get to a leadership level, if you look at the director page close to tax season or close to the end of the year, you'll see a lot of leaders who are like, what printer do you have? What do you pay for on a monthly basis? What do you invest in for you? Where are you guys going on vacation? Because we're all looking for tax write-offs at the end of the year, because nobody wants to pay thousands and thousands of dollars in taxes. But all these leaders that you see making 5-figure incomes a month are paying their taxes just like we are. Okay. But it shouldn't be scary. You're not going to end up paying thousands of dollars on if you like, I think my first year I want to say my first year I made $2,500 selling Scentsy in a year. And I think I maybe paid $100. Okay, it's not anything expensive. And really, truly, and honestly, you're gonna get a return more than likely anyways, especially those of us who have kids. So you're not even gonna notice that $100 that's coming out of your return. So it's gonna offset everything. Yeah, hey, Chloe, send me your tax guy's information. Is he like H&R Block tax guy, or is he like a legit,
But he was a tax auditor for like many, many, many years. So like he does it right, and he's worth the money.
Okay.
So if you still want it, I'll send you the information.
Yeah, send me his info. My issue is that H&R Block doesn't, when you get to the point where you've got as many deductions as I have, a lot of times they're like, nope, just do the standard deduction. It's better. And I'm like, no.
I don't know about that. He's done really well by us. I've been seeing him since I was like 6.
Yeah, I need to find a tax professional where I can pay quarterly. And I don't know that H&R Block allows that.
See, I don't know that. So
yeah, I need to find a CPA. I just need an accountant. I need somebody who's like, stop spending money. Would you?
Well, I wonder, like, do you remember Pedro Torres?
Yeah.
He does accounting for like big businesses and stuff. Maybe he'll like hook you up.
He was my secret admirer in middle school. He wrote me a note that said, I made you this pencil, and it was a pencil from the dollar store, and put it in my locker.
I want to ask about that when Jeff sees him next.
Please do. I know it was him and Martin Felix. So Holly Fearby said, would you recommend putting a smidge away for monthly commissions to cover that bit you have to pay? Wouldn't let us take all of it out of our returns, had to pay some up front, but thankfully I had it right now. Yes. If you, what I would generally do is, depending on what you make, like if you make $100 in a paycheck, put $10 aside for taxes. I say put 10% aside. So like if you're making a $3,000 paycheck, put $300 aside, so on and so forth. Put in a savings account so you don't touch it. But that way at the end of the year, if you do have to pay taxes, you have that money accessible to you right then and there when you need to pay taxes. And if you don't need to pay that much in taxes, whoops, you got a bonus. Okay, you haven't touched it. You got some extra money lying around. Go treat yourself. So did Rainbow at the 1st of 2020. So I have a lot of tax write-offs on top of my husband's credits. Woot woot. Listen, Carly, don't tell me what to do. She's texting me telling me to stop being a squirrel. Okay, does anybody else have any questions regarding taxes? Is anybody still excessively nervous about filing their taxes? Don't forget you're muted.
I said, I always am, but that's just, I don't know, just makes me nervous. I wouldn't
be worried about it, especially those of you guys who work full time. Or like have a job outside of Scentsy, the only difference is that Scentsy doesn't automatically take our taxes out of our check. So like when you're working full time, you're paying your taxes, you're just paying it each check. So really, if you really wanted to think about it that way, just start taking a small amount of money out of each check that you get. So you're putting it aside for your tax fund. Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm very nervous and anxious. Shay, don't be. Can you go over what is a tax write-off since I missed the beginning? Anything and everything that you purchase for your business is a tax write-off. There are way too many for me to sit here and list them all, because literally anything that you buy for your business, if you can ask yourself the question, did I use it solely for my business? Then yes, it is a tax write-off.
See, and my dumb self didn't save a lot of my receipts because I wasn't thinking about it. So that's just money down the drain.
Hey, you want to know what?
What?
I made $30,000 and didn't save a single freaking receipt. Because I'm a dumbass. Because halfway through the year, I wasn't making what I was now. So it wasn't as important to me, because I can find, like, the big thing is if you go back into your workstation and go month by month by month, you'll be able to find your receipts for scent of the month, warmer of the month.
Yeah.
Your web.
I already got my scent of the month printed, but I got to print out all the orders that I bulk ordered for people, get that printed. I've been on a printing palooza lately.
Yeah.
My poor ink cartridges. Yeah,
and you'll, like, if you use TurboTax, Kyla brings up a good question. If you use TurboTax, just be aware that there is a small possibility that TurboTax will make you use the small business TurboTax to file your 1099. It's not any more expensive than buying regular TurboTax. So don't fret if it's like, hey, look, you need to file small business. Don't get scared. It's their way of allowing, like, it's their way of walking you through it step by step. And TurboTax is wonderful. That's how I've been doing my taxes. It walks me through step by step. It asks you every single question you're going to need. It even asks you, do you have any expenses you'd like to write off? So on and so forth. Holly, some things you can use for tax write-offs. Yep. And she's going to put them in the comments. Stamps.com, Amazon purchases, Square. If you paid for like a reader or anything like that, if you pay for anything, your fees on like Square, PayPal, any of those processing things where like you pay a 2.75% fee, those fees are all tax write-offs. Your website, Amy, if you bought a new printer, any kits you buy, any Scentsy branded merchandise, new catalogs, new testers. Let's see, my label printer. I'm literally looking around my office. My label printer is a tax write-off. My desk I made back here solely for my office, tax write-off. All of those, like all of this, tax write-off. I'm trying to think of what else. Mileage is definitely the big one. That's what my dad always told. My dad owns a small business, and he said mileage is definitely a big one. If you track your mileage, that's where you're going to get a lot of your money back. Having to travel for work is where you're going to get a lot of your money back. And we all do it. We just don't even think about it. Like we're going, like, let's say if I leave my house and go up to North Stafford to go deliver a Scentsy order, I'm going to track my mileage up there. Yep. Postage. If you buy stamps, all your stamps are tax write-offs. There are apps for tracking your mileage. I don't know the name of them off the top of my head. I haven't been using them. But I do know that there are apps that you can like turn on the app when you get in your car and it tracks your mileage for you. Business cards are absolutely a tax write-off. If you have a decal on the back of your car, that's a tax write-off. Vistaprint. Yep. Anything you buy on Vistaprint.
Is our enrollment kit a tax write-off?
Yes.
Booyah. It
is. Your starter kit, your shooting star kit, all of those things are tax write-offs. Trying to think of anything else off the top of my head that I know of. If you bought yourself a fancy ring light, tax write-off. It was $20, but $20 helps. Does anybody have any? Oh yeah, if you go to any events and have to pay a fee to set up at the event, tax write-off. Literally.
So if we are using our like half price rewards and stuff to get like products for Happy Mail or products for events, would that also be a tax write-off even if it was half priced?
Yep. You just put in the amount that you paid for it, not the amount that it's retailed at. Yep. Anything that you buy for your business that helps you market your business, that helps you work your business, anything like that is a tax write-off. And I do highly suggest joining. Let me see if I can think of the name of that. Schooler, if you know, you're really big into the Facebook groups. If you know the name of the group, I can't remember the name of the taxes group for Scentsy. Oh, US Tax Dollars and Cents. I'm not in the group.
So I'm in it, and I want everyone to know that it is like a shitstorm. if you like, make sure that you read the posts and everything, because the people like are cutthroat.
Yes,
Just
they
beware.
are. Yeah. Use it as a sense of, take everything that's in there with a grain of salt. Okay. Just like I told you guys, I am not a tax professional. Some of the people that are in that group are tax professionals and are a-holes. Okay. The best thing that you can do for yourself is consult your own tax professional. If you do your business through H&R Block, or if you have a CPA, or if you do your own taxes, walk yourself through everything. So like if you're going to do your own taxes through TurboTax, walk yourself through it first so you know exactly what you're going to need. You can back out and start over anytime on TurboTax. You can hit like save where you're at and go back to it. I do that a lot. But my suggestion is consult a tax professional if you have any big questions, because this is not an advice chat. This is not a chat to tell you exactly how to file your taxes, because we're not tax professionals. And I'm not trying to tell you like, hey, look, this is the way you should do it, or this is how you can be sketchy and do it. I want you guys to know that it's not scary. It's nothing you need to worry about. You should not, if you made $1,000 last year, you should not be getting a bill for $500 for your taxes for Cincy. Something is wrong if you were getting a bill for $500 for Cincy. Does anybody have any other questions or anything? If you want to clarify tax write-offs, drop them in the comments. I've still got the comments popped up. We got about 8 minutes, and I am watching to see if Heidi and Orville are going live yet. Because I know none of us want to miss that. Also, make sure you guys check on the Flamingle Flock page. I just posted our incentive for February. It starts in the morning. I wanted to post it tonight so that you guys had a chance to look it over and get ready for that. It's a knockout challenge, which might be new to a lot of you guys. It is a lot of fun. The gist of how you do it is there are 50 items on a list. As you do something that is like completing a challenge, you can knock an item that you don't want off that list. There's a bunch of crappy items on there, like a four pack of 1-ply toilet paper. You can knock those items off, but there's some really good prizes on there, like a label printer, a new printer. I know a lot of you guys have been begging for new printers. A lot of people who said that they really wanted business supplies, so I added those on there. Samplers, y'all. Carly and I sat down and got our husbands involved to help us. So the bad ones are husband related. Like our husbands pick those and they're nasty. Danetta, yes. Technically, no. Yes and no. Sorry, I read and then had to reread. You will only get a 1099 from Cincy if you've made over $600 in commission, not sold over $600 in product. Only if you have been paid by Cincy $600 in commission or more. Okay. That if you do not receive a 1099, that does not mean you don't file taxes on your earned income. They just do not submit to the IRS on your behalf a 1099 miscellaneous form. If you need to know how to file that without a 1099, you need to consult a tax professional. That sounded really professional and I didn't like it. No, I don't like adulting. Like taxes are not fun. This is not a fun chat. Like, can we next week do a fun chat? Can we next week do like a theme party chat?
Let's have like an SFR type party again. That was like the best thing ever.
Yeah. So what theme should we do next week? Should we do like 70s flower child? Because that's kind of
come fix my printer theme because it's not printing.
I drive down with the family next month for the buddy donation. Can I write? Yes, ma'am, you can. You can write that off, that travel expense, because it's a business expense. And I really hope you do that. I would love to hug you.
I second that.
Yeah. I would love for you to come down for that. I am so excited about the buddy drive. Like, you guys have no clue. Like, I think between Ashley, Stewart, Carly, and I, we just blow each other's phones up all day long about how pumped we are to see you guys getting donations and how like it gives us goosebumps when we see them come in. So anybody else have any questions? We got like 4 minutes left before Zoom kicks us off. Ooh, 2 more. What would you guys think to doing like one day during the week doing midday? I know a lot of you guys work, but just like having an available Zoom link, like this link, we could do this link, it's fine. Same link every week. But like Wednesdays at like noon, doing like a work chat where if you're available and want to hop on and work, you can hop on and work and chat with your leaders or whatever. Or if you're not available, you don't have to, but it's available to you if you have any questions. I want to keep a more open line of communication for the team, for everybody to ask questions and feel comfortable around all of us.
Does that mean you're going to start paying for Zoom?
Tax write-off.
Her cheap ass ain't gonna do it.
It's like $14.99 a month.
Ew.
And it's really confusing because it's asking like how many licenses do I want? And I'm like, I just want longer than 40 minutes. Like, this is ridiculous. It yells at me a lot. Oh, I could probably stop recording now.